Evan here from Evan Sports Corner, and I'm back with another video here on the channel. Today, I'll be talking about the Dallas Cowboys playoff game, and obviously as a Cowboys fan, I have a take on this game. Pretty frustrated with the way it is. The game just ended, and obviously I didn't want to make this video. It's not great. I mean, it stinks to obviously lose first round, team that's talented like this. And, it's not great to make a video right after the game. So, obviously there's a lot of emotions and bias in it. So I'm going to try to stay as non-emotional, non-biased as possible in this video. I'm going to try to be as, neutral as possible. Obviously, I do have my personal biases towards the Cowboys, but I'm going to try to stay clear of that in this video. So before we hop in the video, remember to leave a like if you enjoy. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, so now it's more sports content like this. Let's hop right in the video. So obviously the Cowboys unfortunately did lose 23-17 to the San Francisco 49ers in a game that was mostly dominated by San Francisco until the end. San Francisco never was behind. They had the lead from the beginning, and until a late charge by Dallas in the fourth quarter, San Francisco was pretty much coasting throughout this game. They did what they wanted to do coming in this game, and I feel like that was a big part of their game plan, was running the ball, and obviously they did that to perfection with 27 carries and 96 yards with a touchdown from Elijah Mitchell, and Deebo Samuel had 10 carries for 72 yards, also with a touchdown. San Francisco did exactly what they wanted to do coming in this game. They wanted to run the ball as much as possible. They wanted to keep the game out of the control of Jimmy Garoppolo, because obviously Jimmy G ain't that type of game-changing quarterback. And they wanted their defense to control the game as well, and they did that despite losing Nick Bosa in the middle of the game and Fred Warner being out for temporarily with an ankle injury. San Francisco did a great job of playing their style. They wanted to run the ball, they wanted to control the game defensively, and they did just that. Despite a late charge from Dallas and Dak Prescott finished the game with 23 for 43 passing, 254 yards, and 1 touchdown, 1 interception. After Dak's interception in the, I believe it was the third or fourth quarter, after Dak's interception, I thought the game was over. I thought that the Cowboys lost. It was 16-7 when he threw the interception, and then San Francisco went and scored. Deebo Samuel scored the touchdown, and San Francisco looked like they were going to run away. But the Cowboys battled back. And the problem with the Cowboys, and it's been a problem with them for a lot of the season, is that they haven't been able to play a complete game. They'll get behind, and then they'll make a comeback in the fourth quarter, get the fans' blood pressures up, give the fans some hope, make a play on defense, get the fans going crazy, and then just disappoint. And they did exactly that today. The Cowboys weren't able to run the ball, 12 carries and 31 yards for Ezekiel Elliott. Again, running the ball has been a rough part for the Cowboys, because the problem with the Cowboys, they have some good players on their offensive line, but they have an insane amount of weaklings, and that showed today. You had Connor Williams get called for multiple holding penalties, and also you had Lyle Collins getting absolutely torched by Bosa when he was in the game. Overall, it was just a poor performance from the O-line, especially in the running game. And San Francisco's O-line was able to do their job. Deebo had a great game with the touchdown. He made some big plays, and they almost had a chance at the end. The Cowboys actually did almost have a chance at the end. The first time they had a chance to win, Prescott threw up a prayer on 4th and 11 that Cedric Wilson almost came down with the ball. That was really close. And then, of course, there was the controversial finish where Dak ran the ball, and he slid down. And, of course, the Cowboys were never able to get in their playoff, which stunk, because I really wanted the Cowboys to get at least one shot to the end zone. It would have been nice to see. Would have been great, but unfortunately it didn't happen. Ref has to touch the ball, and by the time the Cowboys snapped it, it was over. And that's a sad way to go out, man, because obviously it would have been nice to have one more play, man. Just to know that this was it. It would have been nice to have an ending to the season like that, but unfortunately it ended. And this season ended abruptly and way too soon. This team was very talented, and they showed a lot of promise throughout the year. But as the season went on, you started to see cracks in the Cowboys. There were a lot of different issues. The offense stalling out, the defense relying way too much on big plays, and the offensive line clearly wasn't doing their job well. And it all showed in today's game against the 49ers. The Cowboys did almost make a comeback thanks to an interception by Anthony Brown, some touchdowns, a touchdown by Prescott in the running game, and the Cowboys had a shot at this, but at the end of the day, San Francisco deserved to win this game more. The Cowboys were somehow in it at the end, and they did have a chance to win thanks to some clutch plays on the defensive side by Leighton Van Der Esch and Deebo being just short. But at the end of the day, it didn't matter. San Francisco comes away with the win. And obviously, I have to address another thing in this game was the penalties. The refs were calling a lot of penalties on the Cowboys, and I have to say about that, is that the Cowboys were very undisciplined in this game, as they have been all season. Yes, there were some penalties in this game that were ticky-tack calls, 100%. But there were a lot of penalties that the Cowboys, like, you just question things. Like, what are they doing out there? For example, CeeDee Lamb getting called for an illegal shift after a nice catch. Like, what are you doing, CD? Why did you not get set, bro? That's being lazy. Also, the Cowboys got a clutch stop on 3rd down once, and Neville Gallimore, for no reason, just put his hands in a 49ers player's helmet and just put his neck up. Like, what is the point of doing that? Like, I don't understand. The Cowboys shot themselves in the foot with these penalties, and you knew coming in the playoffs, the Cowboys need to be more disciplined. The Cowboys need to play smart football, and they just didn't. And honestly, that's why I feel like they deserve to lose the most, because this game was decided by a bunch of different factors, not being able to stop the run and the penalties that the Cowboys did to themselves. I mean, they were just super undisciplined, and throughout the season, you could tell that the penalties were going to cost them in a big moment, and that showed today. A lot of times the Cowboys made big plays, and they just could not stop holding the linemen for the 49ers. And it was super frustrating to watch. The offense wasn't able to get into rhythm because they just could not stop holding. My goodness, man. There were also some other penalties, such as Randy Gregory jumping into neutral zone twice, stuff like that, false starts, just a bunch of different penalties that just shouldn't happen. I mean, I think the Cowboys got called for, 14 penalties in this game, which is absurd. Again, the referees, they called the penalties they saw, and the Cowboys made it way too easy on the referees, man. They just did it to themselves. They were not smart. They played dumb football, and that goes on the players and the head coach. You've got to be more disciplined as a team than that, and the Cowboys were certainly not. So it all comes down to that. I feel like San Francisco did a good job of executing their game plan. They controlled the tempo of this game. They were never behind. It got a little scary there at the end, but then Dak decided to slide, and the Cowboys weren't able. And they decided to run the ball, which was definitely a risky play. Having Dak run it himself was definitely risky. I feel like Dak should have slid earlier, and maybe we could have had one shot to the end zone. If we had one shot to the end zone, who knows what could have happened? Crazier things have happened. But yeah, at the end of this game, I feel like as a Cowboys fan, as much as it hurts to go out this way, I feel like it's just what had to. I guess it's just what happened, man. I mean, it came down to a bunch of different things: penalties, bad run game, and all the cracks that showed throughout the regular season were obvious today. And unfortunately, that results in the Cowboys being bounced in the first round, and a promising season that had hopes for a Super Bowl are now out the window. So now we're going to be sitting on the couch with the playoffs. Shout out to the 49ers and their fans, guys like Jay in the Bay and people like that. Shout out to y'all. Good win today. Y'all deserved it. Y'all played smarter, cleaner, and better football than us today. You deserve to win this game. And the Cowboys, I guess it's on next season. Hopefully we can come back and play better, but it's got to start somewhere. And first of all, I mean, we just definitely need to stop getting called for penalties. And hopefully as a team, we can just become more disciplined, because we have some young guys on this team and they need to be more disciplined. But it's also annoying when the veterans are not disciplined. That's what hurts the most. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, so you'll know more sports content like this. And yeah, GG the 49ers, and the Cowboys season is unfortunately over.